Who am I?
From Taiwan to Thailand, from manga pages to global fame, the story of F4 has touched millions of hearts across Asia. Today, we're diving deep into the complete journey of the iconic Boys Over Flowers universe. Every version, every F4, from the very beginning to the latest adaptation. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's explore how one story conquered all of Asia. Meaning of Boys Over Flowers. Have you ever wondered what Boys Over Flowers really means? The name Hana Yori Dango literally means boys over flowers, but it also carries a hidden message. It's a Japanese proverb that means substance over beauty, or in other words, choosing something real and meaningful over something that's just pretty. In the drama, that meaning becomes emotional and symbolic. The flowers represent beauty, wealth, and social status, while the boys, and especially the heroine, Makino Tsukushi, represent real emotions, courage, and love. So, Boys Over Flowers teaches us, don't be blinded by appearances. True value lies in what's real and kind at heart. The origin. Hana Yori Dango, 1992. It all began in Japan in 1992 with a manga called Hana Yori Dango, written by Yoko Kamio. Decades later, this manga made history. In 2023, Hana Yori Dango was officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the most published copies of a shoujo manga series written by a single author, with over 59 million copies printed worldwide. That's right, Boys Over Flowers didn't just win hearts, it broke world records. The first live-action movie, Japan 1995. In year 1995, Japan released the very first Hana Yori Dango live-action movie, a humble beginning that planted the seed for what would soon become a global phenomenon. The anime adaptation, 1996. The following year in 1996, an anime version of Hana Yori Dango was released. It brought the story of Makino and the F4 to life through animation, showing the emotions, humor, and heart of the manga in a new way. Although it only ran for one season, the anime helped spread the story's popularity across Asia, introducing Boys Over Flowers to millions of new fans. The first Asian remake came from Taiwan, Meteor Garden 2001, starring Barbie Hsu as Shan Chai and Jerry Yan as Dao Mingxi, along with the rest of F4. The show became a cultural phenomenon. Audiences fell in love with its romantic chaos, emotional twists, and of course, the dreamy F4. The success continued with Meteor Garden Season 2 in 2002. The sequel followed Dao Mingxi after he lost his memory in an accident, while Shan Chai fought to bring back their love. Filmed in beautiful international locations, it continued to showcase the charm of the cast. The four actors became real-life idols, and by late 2001, they officially formed the boy band F4, releasing their first album, Meteor Rain, in 2002 and touring all across Asia. This was the true beginning of the F4 craze. Hana Yori Dango, Japan, 2005. In 2005, Japan released its first Hana Yori Dango TV drama, starring Mao Inoue as Tsukushi and Jun Matsumoto as Damyoji. This version stayed closest to the original manga, shorter, sharper, and emotionally powerful. It was followed by Hana Yori Dango Returns. 2 years later, in 2007, came Hana Yori Dango Returns, the direct sequel. It continued the story after Makino and Domyoji were separated, showing their long-distance love, growing maturity, and new challenges. The grand ending of Japan's F4, Hana Yori Dango Final 2008. After the massive success of the 2005 drama and its 2007 sequel, Japan gave fans a proper cinematic farewell with Hana Yori Dango Final in 2008. Ubi picks up after Makino and Domyoji's engagement, but their wedding plans spiral into chaos when the Domyoji family's priceless tiara goes missing. F4 reunites and travels around the world to recover it, leading to a fun, emotional, and romantic adventure. Filled with laughter, drama, and heartfelt moments, it became one of Japan's biggest hits that year. The perfect goodbye to the beloved F4 era. Boys Over Flowers, Korea 2009. Then came the version that took the entire world by storm, Boys Over Flowers, the South Korean adaptation released in 2009. With Lee Min-ho as Gu Jun-pyo and Koo Hae-sun as Goom Jan-di. This drama became a massive hit, not only in Korea, but also internationally. The drama's fashion, soundtrack, and romantic moments defined the 2000s K-drama era. Lee Min-ho became a superstar overnight, and millions of viewers fell for the charm of F4 all over again. Meteor Shower, China 2009 to 2010. In 2009, China released its own remake, Meteor Shower, starring Hans Zhang and Zhang Shuang, followed by a second season in 2010. It is an unlicensed live television drama production based on Boys Over Flowers, not authorized by a Japanese publisher, Shueisha. According to the producer, the series is only inspired by the manga and not based on it. In 2013, the US attempted its own take on Boys Over Flowers with Boys Before Friends. The story was set in an American art and design school where Zoe clashes with the arrogant yet charming F4. Though it began with high hopes, poor production and low ratings brought it to an early end. Yet it still proved that F4 fever had truly gone global. Meteor Garden, China 2018. Fast forward to 2018, China released its own modern remake of Meteor Garden. Starring Shen Yu as Shan Kai and Dylan Wang as Dao Ming-si, this version featured a younger cast, new visuals, and an updated story for Gen Z audiences. Adding to the magic, Dylan Wang even lent his voice to the soundtrack, singing one of the drama's most memorable songs, Don't Even Have to Think About It, making the story feel even more personal and sincere. It reintroduced F4 to a new generation, keeping the original heart, but adding a fresh, modern vibe. Hana Nochi Hare, Japan, 2018. Just when fans thought the Hana Yori Dango journey had ended for good with the 2008 movie, Japan said, wait, we're not done yet. In 2018, a whole new generation bloomed with Hana Nochi Hare, Hanadan Next Season. Set years after Domyoji and Makino's era, this sequel followed Oto Edogawa, played by Hana Sugisaki, a kind, hard-working girl hiding her poverty at the elite Eitoku Academy, once rolled by the original F4. Now, a new group called C5 leads the school, headed by the awkward but kind-hearted Haruto Kaguragi, played by Sho Hirano. The drama also features Imada Mio, who plays Ayuri Maya, one of the standout members of C5. The most recent adaptation, F4 Thailand Boys Over Flowers, 2021 to 2022, produced by GMM TV, starring Bright Vachirowit as Thyme and Tu Tantawan as Goria. This remake stood out with its bold visuals, sharper storytelling, and modern chemistry that fans instantly fell for. And the best part? The cast sang the OST themselves, making the series feel even more iconic and unforgettable. And in 2025, the Philippines gave us Ang Mutya ng Section E, a story that may not be an official Boys Over Flowers remake, but carries the same spirit. Based on a Wattpad hit, it tells of a brave girl who finds herself the only female in a class full of boys, facing rivalry, friendship, and love. Like Hana, Yori, Dango, it celebrates courage, growth, and standing tall in a world that tests you. Every version of Boys Over Flowers gave us their own beautiful flowers. But one flower from Meteor Garden, Taiwan, 2001, will forever be missed. Weilun, whose gentle smile once brightened the screen. Years later, in 2025, when the Meteor Garden cast reunited, the moment was filled with nostalgia and happiness, but it was also incomplete because she wasn't there. In the end, everyone has their flower, except F4 Taiwan, who lost one too soon. At the end, F4 isn't just a group of handsome boys. It's a symbol of growth, friendship, love, and courage to be different. So, which version of Boys Over Flowers is your favorite?